This is 7 National News, and in our top story. The federal government is determined to make all its services easily accessible to all members of the public. That's according to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai. Sheikh Mohammed made the statement as he launched the UAE government YouTube channel during a cabinet meeting held at the Presidential Palace on Monday. Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Presidential Affairs, and Lieutenant General Sheikh Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, were also present. The ruler of Dubai highlighted the opportunities available to ministries and federal authorities to interact efficiently and in a transparent manner with customers and create services that meet the aspirations of Emiratis and residents. The channel will serve as an official and exclusive source for news pertaining to federal government. It will also present the most prominent services provided by ministries and government bodies and clips explaining procedures pertaining to these services through the use of infographics. The channel will also contain behind-the-scenes footage on projects that are being implemented. Monday's cabinet meeting also saw the approval of a number of agreements between the UAE and other countries. 2 agreements with Serbia and Montenegro on the reciprocal exemption of holders of special and diplomatic passports from entry visa were approved, as well as an agreement with Lithuania on the avoidance of double taxation on income and on tax evasion. Meanwhile, an agreement with Afghanistan on security cooperation was passed, as well as 3 agreements with Russia, Indonesia and Sri Lanka on extradition, legal and judicial assistance. The Cabinet also led its support to a draft law on combating animal communicable diseases as part of its efforts to protect public health and safety and food security. The increasing popularity of the region in general and the UAE in particular as a trade hub makes it vulnerable to the trade of illegal products and substances, says His Excellency Justice Dr. Hatem Ali, Representative and Head of Office of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC. According to the 2013 World Drug Report by the UNODC, the demand for traditional drugs remains stable, while there is an alarming rise in new psychoactive substances. At an exhibit running alongside the 10th Himayah International Forum, the Abu Dhabi Customs showcased some of the legal substances they had seized this year. It showed the different ways and methods smugglers use to supply drugs into the region. His Excellency Major General Abdurrahman Muhammad Rafi, Assistant Commander of the Dubai Police, officially inaugurated the 3-day event and reiterated the aim to address the rising challenge of drug trafficking. Experts from 24 participating countries will discuss developments and new trends of drug abuse, as well as the prevention and development of national strategies. Colonel Dr. Ibrahim Ad-Dabbal, General Directorate for Himayah Programme, launched his book on fighting drugs and emphasized the society's role through support and understanding.
The Article 43 from the UAE government law says there is no penalty charge for those people who voluntarily submit themselves to the police station or prosecutor. The idea, we are encouraging the people to leave the drug. You know, we understand the drug problem is around the world. No single country is free from drug. So that's why we have to think logically. We should support the people, especially the youth, to submit themselves to the police station for treatment.
We're presenting the international prevention standards, or international standards to prevent drugs. It's the first time in the Arab world that those standards that got approved by the International Drug Control Board last year only being introduced to the Arab countries. Hopefully, through the dialogue of the 3 years provided by the Himayah Forum, we will be able to come up with a mechanism for implementing it in the Arab world.
A road safety awareness workshop was launched today at the RTA bus depot in Al Awir, and will target more than 500 heavy-duty drivers from across the UAE to receive first-hand training on defensive driving from road safety experts who have specially flown in from the UK. UAE-based Tristar Transport has commissioned the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents from the UK to launch the Tristar Road Safety Awareness Campaign workshop under the RTA. Heavy-duty drivers are those driving buses, trucks, trailers and tankers. On the 10th of May, a horrific bus accident killed 13 workers and injured more than a dozen people. According to Tristar representatives, driver education is fundamental throughout the world, and every heavy-duty driver should be made aware of the results of their actions owing to the size of the vehicle. Tristar Group CEO Eugene Main added that as a major player in oil and gas logistics, the company is conscious of the potential consequences of an incident involving road tankers transporting flammable products.
I think education is a big ticket item in promoting road safety, that people need to be aware, Every driver who sits behind a wheel of a big truck is itself a hazard on the road, and unless he learns to manage himself, because 99% of all accidents are due to human error. And I think therefore it's very important for us to make sure these people who are behind the wheels, they have the right attitude to road safety. There are several factors. There's no one size fits all in terms of road safety. I think the most important thing is your attitude. You could be an aggressive road user or you could be a defensive road user. And I think as long as people learn to ensure that they themselves are not a hazard to other road users, then I think it will, will be successful. When every person on the road follows that discipline, the road lane, the rules are there, and as long as we comply with the rules, and we should definitely be able to make roads safer for all users within the UAE.
Commuters travelling to and from Dubai using intercity buses of the Roads and Transport Authority, except on the Abu Dhabi to Dubai route, may now use Noll cards for ease of payment. Adil Mohammed Shakiri, Director of Transportation Systems at the RTA's Public Transport Agency, was quoted in local reports, stating that the paperless mode of payment for intercity buses applies to outbound public bus trips heading outside the Emirate, starting from 8 main stations, namely Al Ghubaiba, Ittihad, Satwa, Karama, Sabha, Deira City Centre, Abu Hail and Ibn Battuta, which serve all routes, and several other destinations such as Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, Ajman and Fujairah. More than 5 million cards have been issued since the Noll card system was launched in September 2009. More than 1 million transactions have been executed through the multi-purpose uses of the card, which can be used in Dubai public buses, intercity buses, Dubai Metro, Dubai water buses and parking meters. And finally in the bulletin, there are a few gifted people who can strike the right chords with their soulful vocals. Among them is Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, who was in Dubai to launch his much-awaited new album called Back to Love. In a musical evening, Rahat launched his 4th album and first in 7 years, together with the popular Bollywood director Mahesh Bhatt. The ceremony also marked the launch of Nokia's music streaming service in the UAE called Nokia Mix Radio. The new album contains a selection of 10 powerful romantic songs, offering the listeners a soulful lyrical adventure. The album also features his recent hit Zaroori Tha, which has been filmed in Dubai. The Pakistani singer is the nephew of the legendary Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan and has found his place to be considered the best Qawwali singer alive. Throughout his career, Rahat has continued to win the hearts of many around the world with his high-pitched, powerful and piercing voice. He has continued to dominate the Bollywood music scene by releasing more than 70 film songs and around 30 TV series title tracks. Speaking during the launch, Rahat said that Dubai is one of his favourite cities where he has performed and was an ideal location where he could spread his message of love throughout the world.
Great music always does trick.
With this album, I wanted to spread the message of love to my listeners, as it is what brings people together. By listening to the album, people can expect to be taken on a peaceful and soulful journey.